There's no question volatility is enormous these days, and it's largely because, I believe in our industry anyways, it's largely because of the seismic shifts that are happening in technology. I mean, there was no time in the 30 years that I've been in the computer industry where one singular computing technology, one singular computing platform has made such a large impact on the entire industry. And cloud computing is unquestionably that seismic shift. Companies these days have to have multiple bets into the future, the next seismic shift. And these multiple bets you have to place relatively early. And it has something to do, it has a real implication on how you run the company, how you organize the company, has a real implication on the balance between financial performance and investing into the future, has a real implication on how you see skunk works and R&D and research projects. Our fundamental purpose as a company, being great at visual computing and using that capability to solve the world's great problems, hasn't really fundamentally changed. What has changed, though, is all of a sudden, whereas there used to be a large dedicated computer sitting next to your desk, all of a sudden we now want to use mobile and cloud capabilities to deliver that service to you wherever you happen to be. And so you could argue that as a result of this shift, and I surely do, that whereas we used to be able to serve 100 million customers with the capability that we have, we can now serve 10 billion customers someday. And that level of change has never, that level of opportunity growth has never happened to us. And so I'm super excited about cloud computing and the benefits that will bring to our company. Virtual reality and visual computing has a way of bringing us to new experiences and new worlds like no technology we know. The problem we want to solve in cloud is to extend the runway and to continue to extend the performance of computing well past when Moore's Law has run its course. In the area of artificial intelligence, this is an area we think is likely the greatest next opportunity beyond cloud computing. The power of a technology, whether expressed in good or expressed in bad, is directly proportional to the benefit it can bring. And so we can make life much more convenient with artificial intelligence and machine learning. We are so optimistic. The industry is now so optimistic about machine learning. We are so hopeful for the benefits and the power that artificial intelligence will bring, that you need to also be mindful to express it in the potential harm that it can bring. And that's kind of the great power and responsibility that comes with amazing inventions. Our single most important stakeholder is our employees. And our employees, their vibrancy, their continued learning, the technical depth, the world-class expertise, the ability for our employees to be able to work together as one cohesive organization. I tend to believe that we create vibrancy through a combination of investing in our current employees so that we continuously learn. And God knows I've learned so much over the years, the last 23 years as CEO, constantly relearning, constantly learning new things, constantly reinventing myself. The company is in the process of doing that all the time, and I'm a huge fan of that. I'm a huge fan of investing in our current employees. I'm also a huge fan of bringing in young people that have a young perspective, and of course they benefit from so much better education than we did, and so much better tools, and they're sensible about today's culture, and they're sensible about today's world in a way that is harder for us to be. And so the combination of those two things, I think, keeps the company really vibrant. One of the things that's most exciting about many of the global markets is that they won't follow the path of the United States. They won't follow our path, largely because they started later. And so they're not as invested in the old archaic technologies that we were invested in. So for example, India jumped directly from nothing, no landlines, to mobile. India is the next China likely, and I'm enthusiastic about what's going to happen there. But you could see what happened in China. They largely jumped across the retail packaging of software. They went directly from hardly anything to cloud computing, and that's why some of the world's most valuable and largest internet companies are based in China. And so I think we're going to see developing countries, when they finally do develop, they will catch up incredibly fast. I learn from just about every source, starting from children to my employees, to researchers, to companies that we work with. The challenge for CEOs and leaders in today's world is there's just so much to learn.